get used to this. To these moments while the rest of the world sleeps, where I can just watch you unguarded. During the day, it's easier to become distracted by everything else. Work, conversation, errands, life. Love becomes folded into ordinary things, and passing you the coffee you forget on the counter, brushing against you in the hallway, and sending you something funny because I know exactly what kind of laugh it'll pull from you. But nighttime is different. There's no distractions here. Not with you beside me like this. I think that's why I stay awake so often after you fall asleep. Because these hours feel strangely untouched by the rest of the world. Like, for just a little while, we've slipped quietly outside of time's embrace. And in all that stillness, I can finally admit things I don't always know how to during the day. Like how much I love you, how frighteningly and how quietly deep it goes. I used to think that love would feel dramatic when it happened, like lightning or a storm arriving suddenly. But loving you has felt so much softer than that, more gradual, like the tide slowly reshaping the shoreline, before I realized the landscape of my life had changed completely. One day, I just looked at you and understood that my life had started arranging itself around your presence in it. Naturally, instinctively. The way flowers turn toward the sun, seeking its warmth. You became the person I wanted to tell things to first. Who I started measuring days by, the quiet thought underneath everything else. Sometimes I catch myself noticing something beautiful and immediately wondering how I would describe it to you later. As though every lovely thing in the world has become tangled up with the desire to share it with you. It's strange. No one prepares you for how intimate love really is. People talk about so much about passion, about intensity, about wanting someone so badly it consumes you whole. But no one really talks about this part, the gentleness of it, the way another person slowly becomes threaded through the fabric of your everyday life until you can't separate them from your understanding of home anymore. Home. I think it's a feeling your body learns in the presence of someone who loves you well. A loosening, a quieting, a sense that you no longer have to hold yourself so carefully all the time. And that's what you've become for me. Somewhere, the sharpest parts of me can rest without fear of being mishandled. The comfort I return to after caring too much for too long. Maybe that's why loving you feels so extraordinary to me. Because I know how hard it is to move through this world, carrying your own griefs, your own history, your own scars, and still remain soft enough to love someone gently. There's courage in that, I think, more than people realize. And sometimes I look at you and feel this strange ache in my chest because I know how temporary everything is. Not us specifically, just life, moments, versions of ourselves. Nothing stays untouched forever. And maybe that's why nights like this feel so precious to me. Because I know they'll pass. The exact version of us will vanish someday. In this room, this season of our lives, this moment we're living inside right now without fully realizing it. But tonight exists. Tonight, you're here beside me, and the world outside can wait. Tonight, I can lie here in the dark and love you quietly without needing anything more than this. And that feels enormous to me. I think there's a kind of grief woven into love. Not because it's sad, but because when someone becomes precious enough, you realize it can be lost. And I don't think I fully understand that before you. Never. Never understood how terrifying and beautiful it is to have another person matter this much. You altered the scale of my life simply by existing inside of it. There are parts of me that became softer because you touched them kindly. Parts that became braver because you loved them patiently. And I don't know how to thank you for that. For making tenderness feel safe. For teaching me that love doesn't always arrive with a thunderclap. Sometimes it arrives quietly, day after day, until one day you realize someone has built a home inside your heart, and you no longer remember what that space felt like before them. I wish I could describe my love for you the way poets describe the moon. I wish language were deep enough for the feeling of loving someone across time, across ordinary days, across exhaustion and seasons and changing versions of ourselves. Because that's the real miracle, isn't it? Not simply being loved once, but being loved continuously, again and again and again. Chosen in 1,000 small, nearly invisible ways until devotion becomes its own language. I think that's what this is for me. Devotion. Quiet and steady and woven into the bones of my life. And I hope someday we'll be old and still finding each other in the dark like this. Still asleep beside each other while the rest of the world turns quietly on without us for just a few hours. I hope so. Oh, I hope so. Because I love you. I love you in all the quiet ways that matter most. Good night. I hope you enjoyed this ASMR, and I know I've been a little late on my videos, but I'm trying my best, and I hope I can create some more for y'all to listen here in a few days. And thank you everyone who's stuck around and subscribed and liked the video, even commented. It really does help. It really helps those who really need it, I think. So, thank you so much. And I hope you have a wonderful night. Sweet dreams.